I'm excited to talk about motorcycle racing this week, tonight, and this week. It's been a crazy year so far. Welcome everyone. But before we go, let's talk a little bit about the Moto3 riders that got hurt, Rueda and Detwiler. I thought we were gonna get away with this season with nothing too crazy. So far, it seems like they're stable. Well, they're alive and stable, which is great. We'll start with TJ. What are your thoughts on? I don't know if you had a chance to see the accident. What are your thoughts on it? And like I said, I mean, guys have been breaking bones and getting scratched up here and there, but it's nothing as serious as this, where they've had to get med lifted in MotoGP. I know other classes, I'm sure around the world, people get hurt in motorcycle racing and stuff like that. But what are your thoughts, TJ?
Yeah, my condolences to the friends and family to those two guys. I mean, they're young guys, and it's just unfortunate to have something like that happen. It's very unexpected and it's very serious to get airlifted from the track. It's also really good to have that safety behind you. Like just ready and available. Really hope they're okay. I mean, I heard that one of them is in stable but kind of critical condition. So
Hmm.
haven't heard really much of the other one. I did not see what happened. I mean, granted, from where we are, we actually could have watched it live because it was actually during the hours of being up. But
Being up, come on, man, you stay up
yeah,
24/7.
yeah, but I missed it, and when they cut it off in the MotoGP. So, but I really hope they're okay. And it is hard for all the other riders to go back out there and do their thing. So hats off to all those guys who still performed and put in the race after seeing what happened. And I think what is about an hour and a half delay or something like that. So
Yeah, yeah. From
yeah,
what I can tell, it was something like something crazy. And again, and I was catching up in after the fact because I didn't watch it right away. I took a nap and kind of missed it, which is crazy. We'll jump to Reese. Reese, what are your thoughts? I mean, you this is what you do full time and stuff like that. Normally, we don't see these horrific incidents. How does the team deal with stuff like that?
I mean, nobody wants their rider, their family member to get hurt. I mean, we're all like a big family there, so nobody wants that. We all want to, at the end of the day, break bread. At the end of the day, go to dinner and live the fight on to another day. I mean, so it's kind of heartbreaking. Prayers go out to that family and to both those families. Um, but I wish them all well. Hopefully, a good speedy recovery. I know it's going to be a long road of recovery for them. And then, like you said, they were young kids. That's make it even worse that they're young. But being young, we all know that you can kind of heal quicker than us
Right.
old dogs. So, uh, us bouncing like that, we might not get back up. But at the end of the day, us being as a team, we see our riders go down and we kind of hold if it's a kind of like a bad wreck, we kind of hold our breath until you see them kind of bounce back up and give that thumbs up saying we're okay. And, being airlifted is nobody wants to be airlifted
Right.
out of the racing because you see that airlift comes out and then it's something serious and something critical. Now we're all rushed to the hospital to make sure that person is okay. So
Right, right. No doubt there, man. It's. I think the good part of our sport is that the level of medical care that's available to us trackside is the best it's been. I think since folks have been racing motorcycles or anything else. Lewis. What are your thoughts on the incident, and also uh, how do you think riders pull themselves together to go back out there and compete, knowing this is in the back of their mind? Because we could be as Superman as we'd like to be. It's hard to sometimes to just shut that section off for a period of time and go out there and give it everything you got.
Well, first, I want to give my well wishes to both riders. I want to, hopefully they'll have a speedy recovery, get out of the hospital, get back to their families. Like Reese said, there is a benefit to being young in this sport. You tend to bounce back from serious injury a little bit better than somebody our age would bounce back. With that said, I mean, I hate that it happened in Malaysia because we already have some really bad memories as racing fans of Malaysia. Malaysia is not a beloved track in the minds of a lot of people that know the history of that track and what it took from us as a racing community.
Right.
I still relive that particular day all the time because it's I'm one of those guys that likes to watch the racing live, so I either stay up late or wake up early to watch it. And to watch this live and to have watched what happened with Simoncelli live, it was kind of like a cool reminder of how beautiful our sport is, but how tragically beautiful it is. It's one of the things that makes the sport great is every time you put your helmet on, you really live in life to the fullest. But you might go, it's living life to the fullest comes with a cost sometimes. So I hope both these riders get better soon, bounce back. I think that the way MotoGP handled it overall was understandable because in this situation, I mean, I hate to say it, the show has to go on. You've got 190 something thousand people there. You've got TV stations waiting for you to go live. It's a cruel part of the sport, but you have to keep going. You have to, move things around, but the show has to go on. From what I understand and what some of the riders are saying in GP is that they got very little information about the riders throughout the course of the day because they didn't want to influence anything or make riders decide not to ride or maybe protest or, when something tragic happens, there are times when they just shut it down. And for whatever reason, I guess that's why MotoGP didn't share with the MotoGP guys and the show went on. But you could tell throughout the day, Moto2 and MotoGP, like it wasn't the same celebratory, high energy kind of thing going on. There
Right.
was like a little bit of a somber undertone because, again, I mean, these are young guys. These are not guys you expect to see getting airlifted away. Um, I just hope that they both come out of this okay, and I want to see them keep riding. Especially two young guys. One guy that was just crowned champion. What is it? A week ago, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
uh,
I forget which round I got to check. I think it was Japan.
Japan. So like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Yeah. But again, this just crowned champion, and it just goes to show you how quickly things can turn on a dime, and you have to take advantage of every moment you have. I always tell people every day that I go out, I always make sure I say hi, kiss the family, and always keep my loved ones in my thought because you never know the next time you walk out that door might be the last time you walk out that door.
Yeah.
So I just hope everybody keeps these guys in their thoughts and their prayers, and I think we're going to see them back. These two guys are built like nails.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to be a motorcycle racer. You might not be one when you start, but by the time they finish,
You're built by nails, or you're held together by nails and screws and bolts and plates.
Duct tape and glue.
I got one. There's just one, so hopefully, I won't get any more. But you never know. But as it is motorcycle racing, and we got to move on. As you say, the show must go on. We'll put Reese on the hot table. So, guys, if you have any questions for him about his travels overseas,
say it. Dunlop sucks. Just say it. Go ahead. Start. Go hot. Go hot in the paint right now.
There you go, Reese. What feedback do you have to give us folks here in America on what racing is like? And can you now go back to the paddock in the U.S.?
I could say racing over there is tough, man. Everyone thinks it's very easy, and it's like you see all the comments, and we don't
My bad.
have riders that can compete, and there's nobody that can compete. I mean, those guys are 10,000 of seconds off. It's like it's crazy speed and craziness. I mean, it's absolutely insane on how much brake pressure those guys are actually using. It's actually crazy on what they're doing. I
Now,
mean,
when you say crazy in the sense of a little pressure or a lot of pressure?
a lot of pressure, man. It's a lot. It's down to the 1,000th of a second. I mean, if you look at the top 10 guys, they're all relatively right there, and they're like, how the hell are they so far back? But it's just like it's insane that what they can do over there. and we're not. I mean, Bobby was picking up pace on Jerez. I mean, he did very well in Jerez, and maybe I was like, oh, he didn't do well. But if you look at the speeds and the times, we were right there.
Okay. So
You got to look at this pace.
what you're saying to Lewis is Alex Slows is really fast.
Yeah.
Hey,
You gotta say it, man. Those guys are fast,
I'm not
man.
saying he's not fast. I'm just saying you got to finish a race to win a race. And those brothers tend to finish a lot of races in the crash truck.
So
They do. I mean, but they're literally on the edge every lap. Like they're on the edge every lap, every corner, and they're using their front brakes more than everything.
really.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Top Rack. Top Rack always got that front wheel up. I mean, the back wheel up.
Yo, I think
Couple
I've
of the
seen
back.
every guy with their back wheel up. Every guy with their back wheel up. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And so what does that mean for like the team? Because I like we had mentioned before you went over last year Gillum got to go, but it was just him. The whole team came over, maybe not all at once. Like, when it's all said and done, like, how does a team come together and say, hey, what do we just witness, and how do we incorporate it into what we're trying to do here in the US, or is it something that's not easy to bring over?
I mean, you got to realize the biggest factor, as Lou will tell you, the biggest factor is the tires. The tires is the biggest factor. They got so much grip. I mean, there's so much grip on the Pirellis. There's so much feeling, so much feedback with the Pirellis. A lot of guys love them. I mean, I didn't hear anything really negative on the Pirellis at all. So that is the biggest factor of racing is the tires. With Dunlops here I mean, we don't have what they have. And then the tracks are kind of a little bit similar, but not too far. They have a lot more runoff, a lot different straightaways, and it's a little bit, they're actually a little bit wider.
So they're better. Our tracks suck. Our tracks suck. Their tracks are like the one thing that I see, and maybe you can, now that you've been to these tracks, as I've seen a couple of the tracks overseas, is the tracks overseas tend to focus heavily on the crash areas and putting kitty litter or rocks or something else that slows the bike and slows the rider down when they crash in those high speed zones. Whereas here, if you look at a lot of the tracks that we race in the US, we have a lot of grass runoff.
Right.
And we've talked about it. We talked about it a little bit last week. Grass runoff tends to destroy bikes versus gravel and kitty litter tends to slow the bikes down more often than not, so the bikes don't flip ridiculously. Whereas here in the US, our bikes seem to be practicing for like Cirque du Soleil every weekend.
Right. I mean, as you know, Louis, I mean, once that foot peg, a bar end, anything, once they're grabbing that dirt, it's over. It's gonna head over in. But if you notice in the kitty litter, it comes in and it actually slows it down and just a small tilt over.
Yep.
Unless they're already sliding into the kitty litter and then it gets caught. Now it's going over.
So do you think the tracks in Europe overall are safer than what we have here in the US when you compare track to track? I mean, obviously you're in some of the best tracks. You're not on the back lot tracks where most of these guys are training, but on the bigger tracks, if you had to compare the two tracks you went to, minus Coda, which for me is the only world-class track we have in the US right now, how would you compare that to like a Road Atlanta or a VIR or a New Jersey?
Death.
Okay.
So we got to feel good at Loudon then, huh?
Loudon is death double down.
That is it, not go. Yeah, I'm gonna sit here. I'll watch you guys. Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna sit over this. I'm gonna sit this one out.
And how about the crowds? Because that's one of the things that I've always noticed is the European crowds are bigger, more engaged. Like, how was the crowd? Because one of the things that we've noticed is World Superbike has a much lower attendance than MotoGP. But compared to MotoAmerica, how do you compare the crowds?
It's funny. and they were talking about it because I didn't, like I said, I didn't get to Ethereal, but the crowds that they have are the same kind of crowds that we almost have, like as in Road America, Laguna, like Road Atlanta. For what the facility can hold, you're almost in that same realm.
Gotcha. So you think it's more the facility that's kind of hampering the crowd situation than if they were at more
No, I mean,
MotoGP tracks?
no, I mean, but you got to think about it. Those guys over there, they don't have what we have here in America. We don't. We have football, baseball, basketball. We have all types of sports. Their big thing is motorsports. So when motorsports comes out, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go watch." This is like their big hurrah.
Right, right.
So that's where they're coming.
Gotcha.
They're born and bred that from birth.
So yeah, I got a question for you.
Yep.
So yeah, knowing that Attack Yamaha and Moto America has been, at the top for a while, and yeah, the championship slipped away. But knowing you're at the top and Bobby going over there, and it's not like it's a reality check. He kind of knew where he was gonna stand, but actually seeing the competition, like what can you take from there to like bring back to try to improve, even though you guys are still top level?
I mean, you can improve on certain things. You can improve on, like Bobby. He can improve on riding skills. Like it was nice when you're seeing Top Rock come into your garage and telling Bobby, "Hey, come follow me," you know, and getting that kind of experience. Following Locatelli and Johnny Ray. Seeing different brake markers, seeing how much brake pressure, how hard you can get on the brakes, and different kind of riding styles, and how aggressive those guys can be. You can take that kind of attributes that they have and bring it back to the States. And I mean, if you actually notice, if you go back, when did Cam, like when Cam was with Yamaha to when he went to Moto2, then when he came back, you can actually notice Cam now rides with his elbows out.
Hmm.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
he never rode with his elbows out. Now he rides with the elbows out a lot more and poking them out, and he's a little bit more aggressive getting in there, but he's still kind of that nice guy, but he's a little bit more aggressive now. So I mean,
No,
you can bring that attributes back and kind of take that
right. And
now.
and and do you think 2 rounds is enough? I mean, kind of thing, or I mean, you have to take what you get, kind of thing. But do you think it would have been nice to have more rounds?
Yes and no. It's a lot of work, man. It's a lot, it's a hell of a lot of work trying to,
Did you drive the lorry?
huh?
I said, did you drive the lorry?
Nah, it's a lot of work from literally packing the crates from leaving Jersey and then like staying up. I think we were packing on Sunday night. I think we packed till like 9 o'clock. Race was over till like what, 5, 3? We were done. And we didn't get out of there till like 9:30 on Jersey on a Sunday.
Wow.
And then they still had to finish up on Monday before the crates left. 2 guys. So yeah, now we're good. I'll take two and keep it moving. I'll take two.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Before we move into MotoGP, any other questions for Reese before we move on, guys?
I'll probably
Yeah,
think of
we get.
something by the end of the show.
All
Oh,
right.
knowing Lewis, he will, because him and his track questions and one say the
Right,
tracks
right.
suck here. Yes, they do. Compared to that, Lewis, they do, man. Their tracks are better. I'll say it.
It's all about the
They
measurements.
It's all about the definitely.